it's more than a hobby. A hobby's supposed to pass the time, not fill it.
Your time's so empty.
Hi everyone, so I'm back in the boat and I've started doing a little bit on the electric system. The plan was that this video would be me starting to pull wires, and I actually ended up doing a lot of composites work instead. So I made the new switch panel or the plate for the new switch panel and a new bracket for the masthead. So most parts of this video will, or actually all of it, will be about the composites work I did on those two things. I've just started doing the electrics here. I will start pulling wires tomorrow. I've made some jumper cables and some connection boxes and stuff like that now, and this will be put into my next video. So I'm mixing up 100 grams of resin, 120 that is, with the hardener. I'm using West System epoxy. Which is 1 to 5. So you just have to stir this very well to get it mixed thoroughly. I'd say this is my second attempt, to be honest. I was a little bit short of time when I did the first one, and the result was not very good. So I also made it a little bit too thick. Too thin. So I added another layer of balsa wood. So what we will have here is 2 layers of, I think it's 180 gram per square meter carbon fiber, 2 layers of those, and then 2 layers of 1 millimeter balsa wood, and then 2 layers of quite thin biax fiberglass on top of that, and then peel ply at the end. That should provide me with a nice thickness of the backing plate. So that should be good enough. Then I will apply a layer of unthickened epoxy on the my swatches. On this mirror I'm using here. I'm using a mirror because it's giving me a very nice surface to work on. I waxed this, I think it's four layers of 4 coats of mold release wax. And I want to put quite a thick layer of here on here to get a smooth surface on the backing plate. So I'm just working it in. So the next step is to wet out the first layer of carbon without shifting the threads too much. Threads, I mean, I guess it's called the weave. I'm just gently pushing the epoxy into the weave here. Looks like a little bit more is needed. So it looks good. Now we'll do the next one. Should be good. That's it. And then I'm going to do the first layer of balsa wood. Second layer. Then it looks like I have to mix another batch of resin. Could be that is enough. So we have to mix up another batch. Not so much though, just let's say 50 grams or something. The good thing about epoxy is that it doesn't gas or give a lot of smell, so you can actually work with it indoors where you have a nice curing temperature, as long as you're not married or you have a very understanding wife. So let's say that's okay. Okay, so now I will put on the first layer of glass, which is extremely thin. So that's one layer down. Problem with this at the moment now is that I have trouble seeing the original piece, so where to lay my glass, and I cut my glass a little bit short. This one is better though. The advantage of using I'm not sure what's the English term of it, but this one is that I get the glass soaked in resin at the same time as I get the air out. Not that it's so important here. As I say, this is not a structural piece of some kind. But well, the less air, the better. See how thin this is. It's so easy to fill the glass with resin here. A little bit of air there. So I think that's good. So let's get some peel ply on to get a smooth surface. And everything is cured. So I think we call it a day. That's not bad. So one trick is to leave your brush in the cup, because then you can pull the epoxy out when it's cured, and you can reuse the cup. So while the panel here is curing, I thought I could show you a little bit from work, because I'm on duty this week, and I'm out now to do quite a big car carrier going up to Drammen. Drammen is the main port for car import in Norway. So I hope you enjoy it. So, the moment of truth here. This thing has now cured for, well, 25, 26 hours. It looks solid enough. First I'm going to show you this trick I said about putting the brush in the bucket. And as you may see here, the epoxy is cured, and I can just pull it out and the box is totally fine, so I can reuse it. So let's get the peel ply off. Let's see how this is. Looks smooth enough. Let's see if we can get this thing off here now. There we go. So we just have to cut the edges here and put on the templates for the two new switch panels. And this came out really nice. So let's go get into the workshop and get this cut. So here it is, finished, and came out quite all right in my opinion. I wanted to save you from all the cutting and adjusting. It's not very interesting to watch. And I think I have all my circuits put in as well, or the labeling I mean. I think this is more or less what I will end up with, and I have two spare. And you might ask why I have put it a little bit offset, and that is just in case I want to put something else on, a battery monitor or something, so I could put it here if I have the space though. Otherwise I have to put it somewhere else. On the back side is of course not that beautiful, but this is how it looks. The power connections for each circuit is here, and the main connection point is this one. And I think that should be quite perfect. I think I have to, so the next job will be to put this on the actual woodwork inside, or actually the where it's supposed to sit, and I think I have to use a router to get this down level with the plywood, which is already there, the teak plywood. And I'm not very good on using a router, so I'm thinking of alternative methods, but I'll see what I end up with. This stainless steel part used to be on the masthead, and I was thinking a little bit about how I would fit my new VHF antenna. The original one was put here, and my thoughts were that I could deliver it to a workshop which could put a lip here, weld on a lip here. And then I thought, why should I spend a lot of money on that when I can make just a composites part here, just make it a plywood and glass, 90 degrees, and then the antenna on top of that. So I did. And then I was thinking a little bit about where to put my mooring light, anchor lights, and the wind instruments. And then I thought I could have the mooring light here, but of course this is tilted because this one is 90 degrees, and the masthead is on an angle about 45 degrees. So I have to make some piece of wood here or whatever, so I could fit the anchor light on, and the same thing for the wind instruments here. And then in this process I started, well, this piece is quite heavy, and as an old, I used to do a lot of racing, and I don't like heavy stuff at my masthead, so I thought, why don't I just make the entire part of plywood and glass, and then it's also makes it easier to make a bracket here for the anchor light, and the same for the goes for the instruments here. So that's all for now, folks. My next video will be all electrics. I've already pulled out some of the wires for the cabin lights, and I'm more or less ready to pull in the new ones, and the connection boxes are also soon ready. So we'll see you around.